Well, hello Indy people, how are you guys doing, and welcome back to another video for World Autism Awareness Week. Today I'm joined by Paul, who some of you might know as
The Devil's Own.
the Devil's Own. Someone who wears a hat. Is that a Hatman?
Oh yes, we must have that. Back in character. What's up guys? It's Hatman here. Back again. Not the Devil's Own today, because we're being informal.
But today our video is all about you as a dad. I wanted to talk to you about being a parent of autistic kids. We know you, and I know you, as a person on YouTube who doesn't really hold back. You're a person who says what he thinks and does it with panache.
That was exactly the word I was thinking of. Panache.
But today, because it is a World Autism Awareness Week video, I just wanted to get some insight about what's like being a parent with autistic kids. You know, talk about that whole process, what it's like, what's it like really? Because I don't know, and I know I have a lot of people who are parents, and I think it would really be interesting for them to find out from another person's perspective what's like.
Sounds fair enough. Where's the whiskey? So, got two, one of each, so I feel no obligation to have any more, ever. So the eldest one is Naomi, my firstborn, very much like me in terms of personality. Kind of looks like her grandmother actually, at least Facebook thinks so, because she keeps tagging as her grandmother. So yeah, interesting. Moody 12-year-old, typical of most girls I guess. So autistic, pubescent, moody 12-year-old. And then there's my son, who's 10. You have seen him, possibly, on camera if you've been on my channel. He has cropped up more than once. Frequently steals the show. He is a born entertainer. It's just a matter of time before he starts his channel. He's got his own webcams, what he got for Christmas. He's rehearsing. He's got the like, comment, subscribe down. Not personally, because I had zero experience with it beforehand. I didn't even, well, you hear about it in passing, and anybody's seen Rain Man, you think, okay,
Oh, yeah.
that's autism, but then again, it's one aspect of it you don't necessarily remember. I've seen the movie once, and to be honest, I didn't care for it. I just thought it was boring. But anyway, I didn't really pick up anything myself because I've got no experience, but Amanda did. She mainly picked up that Naomi didn't. Well, she kind of went two ways, because the one hand she'd either make eye-piercingly stare at the depths of your soul eye contact, or she'd just simply avoid it completely, utterly, 100%.
So it's like polar opposites.
Yeah. But yeah, she was the one who picked up on it first and pushed for it more. She felt she had autistic traits herself. I mean, in hindsight, you know, I could say that about myself, but, you know, it's like, never entered the equation. I didn't really click until Naomi was about a year old, because she was walking, she was speaking, and then she stopped, and so it regressed. So although she was still mobile, she was still fairly dexterous. Just all language, desire to communicate just evaporated. But now she's more communicative in her own way. But unless you know what you're looking for, you wouldn't say it.
Yeah.
And as for Gabe, well, they were looking out for him, because she'd already been diagnosed by that point, and he was kind of the opposite, because he didn't speak at all until he was about 3 years old, and now he never shuts up. Literally, he never shuts up. Whether it's talking to someone else, talking to himself, whatever, he just never shuts up. So yeah, they're both autistic, but both completely different. So if there's any proof that it's not a universal diagnosis for anybody, just look at those two.
Yeah.
They're completely different. Yeah, it was probably a lot easier with Naomi than it is for most kids, because she was already being monitored for congenital hypothyroidism, and her pediatrician, it was one of his specialties, endocrinology, so it was like he did studies on this. And one of the things he was looking at was potentially links between underactive thyroids and development of autism, because as he said, he thinks, obviously hard evidence is different, but his belief is that there's a link. So she was referred to, I forget what it was called now, but there was a child's development unit, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
And she was referred there for a couple of mornings a week. So they would do like the observe and see what tasks she could do and how she interact, and that was pretty much the diagnosis which was confirmed then. So they were kind of looking out for it in her from the beginning because our paediatrician
Picked it up. Yeah.
I mean, Amanda pushed because she believed it herself, so she pushed it as well. And it was kind of like between the two of them, she was probably picked up and diagnosed a lot earlier than a lot of kids might be, because a lot might get picked up at like 5 or 6 when any delays or anything is like way down the line. So even before she got to nursery, the educational placements were ready. So she was picked up really early. So in that respect, lucky, really lucky. And then Gabe was being looked out for, so it's like, yeah, similar but different. Probably wasn't too different from that, because it was fairly early on. There wasn't really much there. There was groups like play groups, parent-child groups, whatever. But she was like slightly beyond that. But she wasn't quite at nursery yet. But she was in like a kids' early years thing, which is like step into nursery.
Oh yeah.
And the provision was, she got diagnosed just before she was due to start that. So the provision was put to have a dedicated one-to-one person there, and so she basically would gravitate towards someone, and then that would be her mentor, buddy, or whatever for the rest of that year. So that was there for like 2 to 3, and then she went to nursery proper. So educationally, medically, academically, the provision's been there all along. Outside of that, though, not so much, because I didn't know much about it, so it was a learning curve for me. And then as for extended family, grandparents and so on, they were even more in the dark than me, because frankly they're old and not very adaptable. So actually grasping the concept of autism was like, well, generally they don't know. You know, it's like trying to explain things. It's like trying to explain how a mobile phone works to them. Sometimes it just doesn't sink in.
If you're involved with the world, you know, I think it is a bit easier. If it's something you're really new at, you're kind of thrown at the deep end, and it's like, what do I do?
Swim or drown.
Yeah.
Had the kids not been flagged and sent straight into special educational needs programs, I dread to think what would have happened. Naomi would have always needed that, there's no question. She would not have been able to function in mainstream school. But there was a time they were trying to push Gabe to do that. And while he is smart enough, they can do it, and Naomi's as well, but she can't communicate effectively. But he can, to a degree. But he has no real concept of right and wrong. He does, but he's like a fire and forget missile. Off he goes, does something, and if it's bad or misbehaving, then he'll feel bad about it afterwards, but by then the damage is done.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't always anticipate beforehand. He would have been led astray by other kids.
Yeah.
That is an absolute certainty. He's led astray by Jacksepticeye, for God's sake. So, other kids, face to face, he'd be setting fire to cars or God knows what. From my viewpoint, they might not come out of school with like 9 GCSEs or whatever the hell they call them these days.
God knows.
But they'll come out knowing things and how to do things. And it might not say it might not be equal to what someone else might have on a piece of paper, but that's less of a concern than them simply being able to function and not beaten down and come out having been miserable for, God, what, 10, 11, 12 years of life.
Yeah.
So they're encouraged and they develop,
And
intellectually as well as personally.
I just wanted to throw in
Just wanted to throw in a question to really stump me.
yeah.
I appreciate it. I truly do. Difficult thing is it can be incredibly trying, very frustrating, especially when something's wrong, there's some kind of emotional drama going on or whatever, and it's just kind of like it could easily be solved if they would take like just 5 seconds, just take a breath, show me, tell me, whatever, and it's like, I can fix it. And it's like, the world is ending. It's like, and there's no coming down from that. It's, oh man. Like, must have been what, 18 months ago or something. But Gabe dropped his tablet getting out of the car and just shattered. Luckily, it was only 5:15. I picked him up early that day, so luckily, went in. I just went straight online. We're gonna get a replacement tablet. So like now, Argos was still open. They had a similar model in, so it's like, right, get back in the car, drag him down. So
I remember
buy a new
that.
tablet.
I remember that. I
Oh,
remember what you saying, and I was.
He was dead. On the one hand, yeah, you're kind of angry because it's like, you've told him, you've said be careful, God knows how many times, and he just drops it. It's like, and at the same time, he's so clear, set lips out. It's like, you know,
It's like Puss.
I have a
Puss
soul.
it's like a little bit like Puss in Boots.
yeah, it's like, stop proving that I have a soul. It's like, yeah, off we go. 150 quid later. It's like, here you go, new tablet. It's better than the old one. There you go. It's kind of like weathering the storm, surfing the waves, and hoping there's not a big ass shark underneath. And as for the positive thing, which kind of connects to that at the end of the day, is when you get it right, it's just worth it. It's like, okay, so he's upset, he's crying, he's clearly wounded, and then it's like, yeah, it's fixed. It's like, there you go, I did good. It's literally going from one extreme to the other, the moments of despair to the moments of just complete and utter satisfaction, I guess.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. It's weird how you talk about Gabe and the laptop, because that's how I would react if something of mine broke. There's no consoling. There's no consoling. There kind of has to be a solution. So
yeah. Well, I'm like that as well, so I understand from his perspective. I mean, obviously he's done it. I've wondered. It's kind of like being on two sides of the same argument myself. Like, I know what he's feeling because it happens to me. I react the same.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I told you not to do it. Be careful. It's like, it's like that bit out of Superman where the father becomes the son becomes the father. It's like, I'm both. Now I know how God feels. I'm the father, the son, and the ranting demon.
I'm everything.
I suppose when your parents go through it, I can only really say to them is to take the step back when you need to, because when you're up close and personal with it, it's in your face all the time. You don't see the forest. You'll see the tree, the immediate problem that's right there in front of you, the immediate temper tantrum, the immediate meltdown, the immediate issue. They're not speaking, they won't eat, they don't like this particular texture, they won't go in this room because it's a color they don't like, whatever it might be. I want to say it's an endless minefield per se, because it's not. There are mines there clearly, but you can also have mines in a picturesque landscape. So yeah, you're going to step on one possibly at some stage. You can try to be careful, but eventually it's going to happen. So it's kind of like trying to focus on the individual problem.
Yeah.
And just like look at the bigger picture, because at the end of the day, they are kids, and life is going to be difficult for them regardless. You can't change that. You can help them cope with it, help them adapt to it, and you can prepare them for it and shield them as much as you like. As I try to.
So would you say also, with a lot of things, it's just a case of trial and error?
Yeah, because all the rule books that might be written, all the guides that are out there, all the experience that people have, it's their experience, it's what they've seen themselves. You've got the support network there, it's good things happen at the end of the day. Whether you're neurotypical, autistic, bipolar, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's the same for everybody. If you've not got a support network there, if you've not got people to count on, you're just going to be alone. And
it's just harder.
It's infinitely harder. It's not insurmountable, but there's going to be scars. There's going to be emotional damage of some description.
Okay, so that's all my questions. I'm done butchering, done just throwing questions at you. But no, can I just take the opportunity just to thank you for coming over?
It's been a pleasure. We should have done this ages ago,
We
but
should have. We should have.
you know, we have lives full of stress and, you know, commitments like, you know, employment
And children.
and that.
But no, definitely, guys, go and have a look at Hatman's stuff.
Just beware, it is a little bit, you know, edgier.
If you guys go over and you don't like it, but yeah, if you have any questions about this video, if you have any advice or just any questions at all, either for myself or for Paul, let us know down below in the comments. But if you did enjoy the video, then give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, turn on the notification bell. Stay you, stay indie. We both hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow for another Autism Awareness Week video. See you there.
Bye bye.
Toodles.